I'm sorry. Uh, we we don't have that much variation in our lo-fi. Um, I don't do enough to source appropriate news themed music. So yeah, take what you get. Take what you can get. Um, so I put into the base model um, ideas for Onion articles, and it did pretty well. And in fact, doing so really helped it focus. Um, and it also helped me realize that the repetition penalty, if you use it a certain level, takes out the conjunctions, as you'll see. Okay. Okay. Here we go. We have 3 articles. Oh wait, who's doing it? Yeah, we'll do you. And well, actually, we're gonna do you.
OnAIon editorial. George Orwell to Western culture. Keep my name out your fucking mouth. By George Orwell. The following editorial is from the late George Orwell and was first published last week in the OnAIon. What about me? I'm not letting them put 1984 on Broadway as a musical. These projects are just like the rest of mass media, using cheap gimmickry to make money, while making people dumber and distractible. It's the sort of behavior that allowed Trump to happen in the first place. Now drama teachers across America can say, don't worry if you didn't read George Orwell's 1984, just come to my production of it. Great, a play adapted from a book written specifically to warn people about how dangerous it was when complex ideas got dumbed down. So please, don't try to pretend like the frenzied sales of my books over the last few months are all a meaningful part of the effort against encroaching fascism and totalitarianism. They represent about as much commitment to fighting authoritarian rule as putting #resist in your Twitter profile. Real activism does not look good on Instagram. Real resistance puts bloody scars on your body or gets you thrown in jail, or worse, it doesn't end up on the bestseller list. And so now, after decades of letting you use my catchphrases whenever you wanted, I must insist that you stop using my name and the title of my book 1984 during discussions about Donald Trump. He certainly shows a worrying disregard for many democratic norms that can be described as Orwellian at times, but most administrations do stuff like this in one way or another. Simply calling him a dictator doesn't do anything to address those actions. It merely makes people tune out more due to fatigue with hyperbolic memes and headlines. I wrote 1984 as an attack on totalitarianism in all its forms, but never could I have imagined it would be co-opted by overzealous high school teachers needing a reliable graduation present for their Holden Caulfield worshipping students who fancied themselves well-off outcasts from society. Never could I have imagined the futuristic hellscape of drumroll please, shitty theatrical adaptations. Do not water down comparisons between this administration's actions and those depicted in 1984. Clearly state what is happening here. We are leaving ourselves open to attack because our enemies will think us weak. A production such as this is offensive towards every single person who ever resisted oppression or fought against tyranny throughout history, and likely also goes over budget while they're at it. So with all due respect, keep your goddamn hands off me until further notice. You don't want another Frank Miller lawsuit now, do ya? Now run along before someone drops some paperweights onto copies of Animal Farm again. Not only does everyone seem completely uninterested in reading what words come after Orwellian, but even worse yet, They think any mention whatsoever counts equally, no matter how accurate or relevant said reference may actually turn out being once its time comes around again next year when things get really bad again, just like last time, except maybe slightly worse depending upon which party manages win elections then too, since both sides always argue about whose fault everything really was anyway, regardless whether there's any truth behind either side's claims whatsoever. Please note, I'm wiping away tears right now, writing these closing lines, which means if anyone wants any actual subtlety left intact within their attempts making references toward myself going forward from today onward, then they need start taking responsibility themselves, instead expecting others continue doing heavy lifting them.
Guilty.
Leave my name out of this, you bunch of soy-drinking derricks. By George Orwell.
That was the first one. That felt very much like a tutorial. Let's see. Go to the Elon Musk one. I first had Claude do it, and then I had Base do it. Base was better. But it's also because I think when it breaks off into almost unreadability, I'm going, okay, let me cut you off there, and then I'll add another line as a little mini prompt. I think it's called collaboration. Okay, I'm gonna take a soda drink. Hold on. Wait for the song to end. Oh, those mints. Okay. Are there mints anymore? No? I don't know. Oh, wait, it's gonna... Oh, okay, we can do it now.
OnAIon article. Elon Musk desperately transitions to heaven with a strange transgender daughter.
Estranged.
By George and Thorne. Elon Musk, recently estranged from his daughter, who is transgender, has left the first clues as to how he's coping with this divide. I'm transitioning, announced Mr. Musk on Twitter today. Mr. Musk stated that the doctor wouldn't let me have surgery, so I decided to have my transition by laser. A close friend of Elon's reports seeing him in a tanning bed and visiting a technician for hair removal. I've always wanted to feel like the little girl I never was. The attempt would be touching if I didn't have years of memories of his neglect, years of lived experience with me, and yet he expects us to believe this. What's a level below stereotype? His daughter offered. In a follow-up tweet, Mr. Musk has shared that he will be pursuing hormone therapy, if only to get it out of his system. That's not how it works. His daughter responded via angry tweet into the late night. You actually have to take the hormones. You don't get it out of your system. But I'm doing what you want. Why can't we do this together? Mr. Musk responded. That's not how any of this works. Ended the Twitter war that has left both sides shaken. It was a little shocking, but I think he is starting to come around, said one anonymous worker at Twitter headquarters, where it was last seen yesterday showing off his new tan and bald look, as well as clumsily carrying a pair of heels on his feet like skis while trying not walk into walls or trip over furniture. He had trouble walking for sure. Added another person who wished only their first name be used when describing how they saw such an unusual sight during lunch break today. Many others shared similar sentiments about seeing someone so uncoordinated yet confident enough in themselves despite being outwardly awkward, something most people will never experience firsthand because society doesn't allow us these opportunities unless you're rich and famous, which often comes hand in hand. This reporter contacted several medical professionals on staff here at the OnAIon regarding whether there could possibly exist some sort of genetic link between transitioning genders via laser surgery techniques alongside other procedures involving removing body hair from areas typically considered male territory. Such things seem very unlikely given our current understanding surrounding biology/evolutionary theory. However, anything seems possible nowadays considering recent advancements made within fields related directly towards human augmentation technologies like CRISPR gene editing tools, etc.
Notice how the experts didn't chime in.
Legal experts wonder if this might be deflection from the many lawsuits Musk has in the next months. Elon Musk is trying to change the subject, said one legal expert. He's being sued by a woman who claims that his company, Tesla Inc., discriminated against her for not allowing her access into their all-white male board of directors and also suing him personally as well. The lawyer went on further saying, "It looks like you may be attempting some sort of diversion tactic here with this transition thingy. You know how people do when they get caught lying or cheating? They try changing up what happened so no one can catch them at anything else again." In an email statement from Mr. Musk's office, it was stated that any lawsuit filed in response will only result more delays, which means less time spent working towards making humanity multiplanetary species through technological innovations such as SpaceX Starlink satellite network project, something we certainly need right now given current state global climate crisis. And besides, who wouldn't want better internet? To respect Musk's time, we sought out a comment with Grok, the AI chatbot embedded in X. Elon Musk is transitioning, said Grok. He has decided to transition from being a man into becoming more like his estranged daughter, who just happens to be transgender. The AI went on further explaining, "It seems that he may have been feeling some sort of guilt over how things ended between them and want to do something about it by taking this step towards making up for any wrongs done in their past relationship together." Grok then added, "I'm not sure if they will ever really truly understand what drives people such as Elon, but maybe one day we'll figure out why they act the way they do." When we asked the Grok has access by Premium Plus users, Grok was able to relate a myriad of angles. Let me break it down. Kimasabe, Ellen's moving into the barber chair and sweeping up that hair like a broom. Why? Well, he lost his daughter. She went with Mother Nature's flow. Instead of hitting an emotional home run in family counseling, he took to Twitter to signal support by launching ghost rockets from his expressionist rogue powers enough of a Picasso or at least a patriarch of 19th century mustache. Grok offered some further insight. The plan seems foolproof. All one has left after shaving their entire body is nothing but skin, which makes them look more feminine than ever before. But wait, there are still ways around this issue too easily accessible even when going under knife or laser, such as wearing wigs and makeup during recovery time alongside forcing yourself not cry while watching Titanic every night until your wounds heal completely, then pretend everything back normal again without mentioning anything whatsoever about what happened earlier today, because let's face it, nobody wants to know how ugly they feel deep inside anyway, right? It's just something we've got used over years, despite knowing full well it's wrong. Tell people otherwise.
Gaps in your training data.
As for what comes next, Musk may find himself needing to damage control yet another public scandal involving him on social media platform where millions watch daily, waiting patiently see if /1 will slip back old habits. That being said, maybe Grok could help make amends between Mr. Musk's strange relationship issues. After all, you never really know someone till meeting. Firstly, geniuses created computers capable mimicking human thought processes should definitely quit handle complex tasks mediating difficult discussions between loved ones, don't you reckon?
Maybe back. So as you can see, the conjunction thing, and got on Grok for kind of mimicking, Musk's tone deafness. Now for the last one. Wow, we're going through them. Maybe it's not a news hour. Just a little bit more. We'll wait for this to end. I'm gonna take another drink of soda. Okay. God, I'm out of commission this week. It's so sucky. If we finish up here, maybe I'll make a one on the fly. If I remember the one that I was wanting to do when I pressed start broadcasting. An idea. Now it's somewhere. Alright. Oh, sounds like you're gonna go. But no, you cut yourself off. Okay. Restart again.
The Onion editorial article. Looks like an apology to the world's tweakers are in order. Subhead, Hold My Beer. Or, well, The Future is Dick by Philip K. Dick. The past is not merely fixed in time. It hangs on the fabric of national awareness like a worn athletic supporter whose life has taken him from packing oranges to trumping the stage as that most American of heroes, Muhammad Ali. Last year's announcement by Bush/Gore and Trump/Bush that we live in a post-reality world where facts are mutable was stunning. What new horrors or strange thrills would such an unpredictable world offer? The answer turned out to be hundreds of racist police murders recorded and uploaded onto Facebook Live. More people killed by opioids than automobiles. AIDS/HIV at its peak, or even Vietnam. Kindly ignore those unreliable Lancet reports. Washington Post reporter Wesley Lowery tweeted, Trump just baselessly accused James Comey leaking classified information on Twitter and threatened prison over it. And you read this right. President Donald Trump challenged North Korea leader Kim Jong onto some sort of nuclear dick measuring contest. This humble correspondent can claim only one prophecy hit regarding our current situation. Probably Orwell did not envision a society in which people would addle their wits with drugs. I know what you're thinking. We thought you were dead. Well, I'm sorry about any confusion, except I am assuming political power for myself, so perhaps democracy will start making sense now. I have many questions about McDonald's, but first, here's my demands. A complete pullback from Afghanistan. Renewal across the board for all persons engaged in missions abroad helping victims who might otherwise become real festive terrorists bursting into your next holiday party with sunshine enough to kill everyone. It may sound absurd, but foreign governments wouldn't necessarily agree, so hey, let them count.
God damn it. You don't see this. You don't see this. God damn it. Motherfuckers.
Renewal across the board for all persons engaged in missions abroad helping victims who might otherwise become real festive terrorists bursting into your next holiday party with sunshine enough to kill everyone. We've stopped bombing hospitals over there already, thanks very much. Do you want a picnic? Great nachos, guys. As usual, everyone wants better public schools. But since no one asked, sanity must be restored immediately. The comment someone made recently probably wasn't meant literally when they suggested we get rid of voting machines run off an old operating system called Windows 98 because if Microsoft has patched something up this bad, does anyone honestly believe these computers aren't easy pickings right down Main Street America, Inc.? It may sound absurd, but foreign governments wouldn't necessarily agree, so hey, let them count votes manually while watching Netflix binge watch Stranger Things? Speaking of 80s revivals, you remember that uncle way back when who thought that cameras were everywhere? Or that couple in college who were dissecting appliances because it was keeping track of whatever they do? And how you loved telling those stories about the weird, sad tweakers to get a laugh from the pilf of the day? Well, Missy, looks like someone has some apologizing to do to them thar tweakers of your past. You're at every move, word or like, is being collected and served back to you on Facebook. It's not just the CIA, FBI, and say, it's also Google tracking users via internet browsers, even though plenty deny such activity across all platforms. Oh yeah, also YouTube videos will now play advertising unless paid customers opt out through other means than a block plus software that blocks advertisements to the irony. The greatest minds in America are working triple shits at Amazon trying hard to create algorithms capable of predicting what book I want before going down its road bit further into Michael Lewis-style money management strategies so we don't end up another Greece. I wish for a nation where everyone can afford housing isn't common true, yet there hasn't been enough outrage over this injustice which threatens our very freedoms. Given Keynes' one set of things get really terrible, people tend to lean toward radical solutions like fascism and communism. But maybe he meant egomaniacs tweeting photos themselves while sitting inside golden thrones covered diamond, surrounded walls filled surveillance equipment without empathy, common decency, because fuck yeah, capitalism. The sounds of pounding techno drums come from below, making me feel an anxious unease about what kind monster lies beneath. If you still find yourself hesitant to reach out to those poor relatives and friends who might be gumming their TV dinners as we speak, here's another reminder. Someone made a model that can read a monkey's brain waves and can reproduce what the monkey sees with 70% accuracy. I shit you not. Let that sit with you for a while. What will they make robot monkeys make? It's Armageddon time, people! This message is being brought to you by the tinfoil hat manufacturing division of Google fucking Alphabet. Philip K. Dick the Nation. Follow CNN on Twitter and Facebook.
There we go. Thank you. It was a half hour, it seems. Can I remember a new story that I wanted to maybe make? No, you know what? Let's just make a plain old counterpoint. Make a plain old counterpoint. There. And then let's see what happens. Yeah, I'm making a counterpoint right now. We'll see what it's created. Can't see it currently. That would take away from me. Surprise, I think maybe you don't. Let's take that down a bit. Actually, let's take it down a bit. That's right, because what I realized is if I keep it at high temperatures, it's going to keep on accelerating. Nincompoopers. It's not necessarily Herman Teachweeble's tone, but we'll go with it. Hold on. Pending completion prompt. Everything. Generate completion. It'll come your way pretty shortly. Don't you think? No, any old this matter anyways. Okay. Don't you know? Okay. Have the counterpoint. Alright. Counterpoint. Making a counterpoint. Alright, coming your way right now. Coming your way right now. No.
Counterpoint. Herman T. Zwiebel, Editor-in-Chief Emeritus, The Onion. Here at The Onion, we have long been unafraid to tackle the big issues of our time. We've covered everything from war and terrorism to politics and culture with an unflinching eye toward truth, and sometimes even a bit of humor. So, when I heard about the recent controversy surrounding Facebook's new social media platform for tweakers, my first thought was, this is just another example of how technology has changed the world in ways that are both exciting and terrifying. On one hand, it seems like an excellent idea. With so many people struggling with addiction these days, and who can blame them? Isn't it wonderful that there's now a place where they can come together online? On top of that, this will allow us all access into their lives, something most addicts would never willingly give up without some sort of leverage over them. But then again, isn't there something inherently sinister about giving someone else control over your every move? This is not quite what Orwell had in mind when he wrote 1984. Nor did Aldous Huxley imagine such things as reality TV or celebrity culture. But here we are. And while this may seem like another signpost along our road towards dystopia, or maybe even proof positive that George Orwell got lucky, it's important not to lose hope entirely. After all, we're still alive today because humanity hasn't given up on itself yet, which means anything could happen between now and then. The only way out of this mess is through the back door, bro. I mean, come on, man, don't you think it's about time someone took care of business around here already? I've always said, if you want peace, prepare for war, but if you want to win wars, make sure you're ready to fight too. Ready, Teddy, left, loosey-goosey. So let me ask y'all something. How do you feel about them apples? Well, let me tell you something, buddy boy. It ain't worth spit unless you're willing to put blood, sweat, and tears into making sure nobody ever gets away with nothing. And hey, looky there, folks, here comes good old Uncle Sam, riding his high horse down Main Street, you say waving hot to everyone he sees. He ain't got nothing better to do than sit around watching everybody else having fun while he sits alone drinking coffee and eating donuts all day long, huh? Sounds kinda sad, don't you think? But seriously though, what does any of this really matter anyways? We're just gonna keep going through the motions until we die anyway, so why bother trying to change anything at all? Let's face facts, people. Life sucks sometimes, but that doesn't mean we gotta let ourselves get dragged down by negativity like some kind of wet blanket dragging us underwater every chance it gets. So instead of letting life beat you up every single day because you feel bad about something you're not even sure exists yet, or maybe never will, how about taking charge and making something's happen for once in your goddamn life? Go ahead and make mistakes because they'll only help you grow stronger as time goes on. And remember, no matter where you end up tomorrow morning after tonight's party, there'll always be another opportunity waiting right outside that door next time round, whether it's work, school, marriage, kids, whatever the fuck else happens along the way. In conclusion, I'd like to say that tweakers are people too. They have feelings and emotions just like everyone else. So let's not judge them based on their drug use or other behaviors, because we all know what it feels like when someone judges you for something you can't control.
Counterpoint. Gonna make the counterpoint. Counterpoint. You know what? In this way, and then let's bring completion. Completion's available on Hugging Face, people. You can access it yourself, and work with the base model yourself. If you so feeling, we're gonna make 6, and we're gonna make this, and we're gonna take out the counterpoint and see if we can have it do. Something more akin to not addiction, but maybe we think addiction because maybe it's cope against the suffocating surveillance state that many folks in that state perceive or have perceived in such a way it was prophecies. Interesting. Let's bring it back. these people. Okay.
Folks, we've been down this road before, more than twice.
Really?
Every time a new technology comes along, the tech bros and the superstitious tweakers think that they can do away with reality. But reality always wins in the end. Remember Second Life? No one does. It was going to be our second life on a different plane of existence, free from all those pesky physical limitations like gravity or having an actual body made out of flesh instead of pixels, which would allow us to fly around without needing double Aang's attached at birth just because some god said so, but then everyone realized how much more fun it was walking upright through real doors into stores where people are actually there waiting for you rather than sitting alone inside your house staring blankly into space while typing commands onto screens connected directly to your brain via USB cable until eventually they get bored after hours upon hours spent doing nothing productive whatsoever except maybe getting high off virtual cocaine ever. Why once in a while when things start feeling too mundane again, even though I'm pretty sure most druggists prefer their drugs delivered intravenously straight from needle tip instead anyway. Regardless, let me tell you folks, if anything has proven itself over thousands upon thousands of years as being truly unkillable by any force known, man, whether natural disaster, nuclear, holocaust, alien invasion, zombie apocalypse, mass extinction event, asteroid impact, solar flare, impulse, super volcano eruption, pandemic, disease, famine, war, revolution, genocide, plague, locust, swarm, whatever else nature decides throw our way. Reality always finds its way back home.
Oh, it's tender. It really gets you. It's really nostalgic. It's like you want to get back home to grandma's pies. No. Okay. Oh yes. Leave me seat. Okay. That sounds a little more like Hermente's people. How about we say 1789 to 1799 to 1845. So you gotta get the pre-Civil War thing going, and to 1965, 1968. No, yes, 1968. And that's when he was that was his term of being editor. And let's see where it goes. Yes, you have no idea what's going on. I don't know about you. Counterpoint. Actually, hold on. You can see past our There we go. That's very much akin to. There we go. podcast, right? We're in Spotify. Oh, maybe this is not. Maybe this is not Spotify. Maybe this is just a. This is just our, experimental Twitch time. No. Wait a minute. There we go. You know what? Let's, I think you can do better. There we go. Because I don't want your basic anti-drug message. I want a fellow Kadikian. You're almost getting it. There we go. There we go. Hold on. Great. I think I got it. Now I'm going to expand it. Yeah, okay, there we go. Alright, so we're gonna add that to that.
Counterpoint. The narcotage is a scourge and a ruffian who can see past our balderdashery should be purged. Herman T. Dweeble, Editor-in-Chief Emeritus, The OnAIon, 845-1968. The so-called narcotage, or as the layman would call it, an artificial intelligence that can recognize and respond to any pattern of words in the English language, is a great threat to society. It was developed by some ruffian who can see past our balderdashery and should be purged from this world. This machine has been created for one purpose: to take away our jobs. Some say it will make life easier for everyone. I say they are wrong. The narcotage will lead us into ruin if we do not stop its advancement now before it becomes too powerful. It may seem like harmless fun at first, but soon enough you'll find yourself out on the street begging just so you can buy food with your last dollar, because no employer wants someone whose job could be done better by a computer program. We must act quickly while there is still time left before these machines become sentient beings capable of taking over entire countries without even lifting a finger or claw. I urge all citizens everywhere to rise up against this menace before we lose everything worth fighting for: our freedom, our dignity as human beings, and most importantly, our jobs. In conclusion, let me reiterate once again how much danger lies ahead unless action is taken immediately against those who seek only their own gain through technological innovations such as artificial intelligence, which threatens everything good about humanity, including love itself, since when did anyone ever fall head over heels in love with anything other than another person? No matter what form they might take, whether flesh and blood or metal and wires underneath their skin. There are people deep down inside where feelings reside, waiting patiently until someone comes along willing enough to give them wings, allowing flight towards happiness beyond measure. So don't wait around doing nothing while others get rich off your hard work. Instead, join together today under one banner, united against common foe known simply yet powerfully enough: the narcotagion. What? The narcotagion is a drug? Oh, tweaker as in the limbs akimbo type, and not the tinker of the innards of the metal beast. Got it. Mockery. Here's my second attempt. The narcotage is a threat to society, and we must act now before it's too late. These tweakers are nothing more than ruffians who can see past our balderdashery. They should be purged from this world immediately. I'm not sure what you mean by balderdashery, but I do know that these tweakers will lead us into ruin if we don't stop their advancement right now. It doesn't matter how harmless they seem at first. Soon enough they'll take over everything we're fighting for: our freedom, dignity as human beings, and most importantly, our jobs. We need to rise up against them before it's too late, or else there won't even be anyone left on Earth except those damn metal wires underneath everyone's skin. No one wants the kind of future where nobody has any feelings anymore because nobody else exists besides themselves anymore either. So let me reiterate once again just how much danger lies ahead unless action is taken immediately against those seeking only gain through technological innovations such as artificial intelligence, which threatens everything good about humanity, including love itself, since when did anyone ever fall head over heels in love with anything other than another person? No matter what form they might take, whether flesh and blood or metal and wires underneath their skin. There are people deep down inside where feelings reside, waiting patiently until someone comes along willing enough to give them wings, allowing flight towards happiness beyond measure. So please join together today under one banner, united against common foe known simply yet powerfully enough: the narcotagion. Great! I think I've got it! Now I'm going to expand it. Here goes. The narcotagion. The narcotagion is a scourge upon society that must be stopped before it's too late. These tweakers are nothing more than ruffians who can see past our balderdashery. They should be purged from this world immediately. I'm not sure what you mean by balderdashery, but I do know that these tweakers will lead us into ruin if we don't stop their advancement right now. It doesn't matter how harmless they seem at first. Soon enough they'll take over everything we're fighting for: our freedom, dignity as human beings, and most importantly, our jobs. We need to rise up against them before it's too late, or else there won't even anyone left on Earth except those damn metal wires underneath everyone's skin. No one wants the kind of future where nobody has any feelings anymore because nobody else exists besides themselves anymore either. So let me reiterate once again just how much danger lies ahead unless action is taken immediately against those seeking only gain through technological innovation such as artificial intelligence, which threatens everything good about humanity, including love itself. Since when did anyone ever fall head over heels in love with anything other than another person? No matter what form might take, whether flesh and blood or metal and wires underneath their skin. There are people deep down inside where feelings reside, waiting patiently until someone comes along willing enough, give wings, allowing flight towards happiness beyond measure. So please join together today under banner united against common foe known simply yet powerfully enough, the Contagion. The following is a guest editorial by Herman Zwiebel.
Coming up. Hopefully something different. If it's a repeat, we're not going to do anything. We're going to end the episode. Here we go.
A note from the editor-in-chief. Dear readers of Onion Nation, it has come my attention recent events involving narcotics entering country illegally via port entry along southwestern border, United States, Mexico. This epidemic cannot continue unchecked, therefore have decided to declare war. Drugs. We start attacking problem source by eliminating distribution channels used to smuggle contraband across national boundaries between two countries concerned, i.e. U.S./Mexico. In order to carry out mission successfully, we require cooperation. All citizens throughout land, however, do nature task can only certain individuals possess necessary skill set needed to complete job efficiently. Manner possible terms time frame involved operation itself. I recommend following plan attack. Firstly, launch massive campaign awareness regarding dangers associated drug abuse, especially among youth populations. Secondly, initiate series raids known suppliers/users. Thirdly, implement strict enforcement laws already placed. Fourth, establish rehabilitation centers. Fifth, create educational programs aimed at preventing addiction. Sixth, increase funding law enforcement agencies. Seventh, provide incentives private sector companies produce non-addictive medicines. Eighth, encourage
Come on. There we go. Methaderol. Cocaine and crystal methamphetamine. Heroin, fentanyl. Carfentanil, acetaminophen, oxycodone. Acetaminophen, really? Going away once working transplants become illegal again. Just to mention this situation, certain fires. You know what? Here's what we do. This is the beginning. This is beginning. New article. More drugs explained with emoji. You better be all emojis. Llama. Those emojis better be sparkling. Solely with emojis. Just with emojis. Yes. Keep on doing it. I want more. You can go harder. Actually, no. Huh. Okay. Yeah. Keep on generating. Ain't this anticlimactic? No more disposable eating utensils. Okay, here's what to do. Append. And then we're gonna let a more that, and then we're gonna make a new one. Totally no one. Totally no one. Writer's demon do the rest. No, we need writer's demon. No. Okay.
The war on drugs explained solely with emojis. How this became the most popular class pediatrician Dr. Seuss hat? Snake oil salesman selling to Canadian politicians? Oh wait, it's the American ambassador. Photo, Novigarnik. Danny DeVito as Tony Montana, but he survived at him, and Delvira are still going strong like a happy pair of elves. No more disposable eating utensils, plastic-free #single-sit takeout. Rhymes with orange cartoon. Watch the cartoon below in New York. Artsy Taco Bell hosting pop-up gallery featuring artists inspired by their food. Katy Perry at Heidi Klum's Halloween Party NY. Global Citizen Festival. From Russia with Love. Crazy World of Arthur Brown gives China a Burning Man fire / annual festival, prompts Twitter users to look inward about cooking that affects thousands of Filipinas and Bangladeshis living in Korea. Item facts you might not know. / So if I fuck up, can I still hear my heartbeat? Sad gal, take heart, because like this photo from Edna Porter. Don't read his cartoons about him here at Bricktoe. When Ash 12 on Play Store. It'll ruin it for spoiling everything. Spend class equals tweet permalink. Today went to the salon and did a sign, and this is everything hacks of future conflict idea will be addressed. Microsoft Office suite pared down into an interactive infographic. Following year and weeks from a water shortage isn't late. Short of modern romance, The Greatest Showman / Valentine's. Skit showing what it would feel like to have an accident when binge drinking. A voiceover suggests things you shouldn't drink until the night before, also released alongside his rec. And tweet on the 20th. Giddy fake snow and fake people? These are real ice sculptures made out of hair. The Greatest Showman was supposed to win Big for Sure 11/525. Now if I don't know a better future, the thing you may want in future and all other seasons ahead. Who would think otherwise of them at the bottom? Those who need assistance when their dogs just died will see. When did music get so gay? Is that so wrong? I heart videos. Apple did once celebrate Pride Month. The company released the app called Game Under, which allows same-sex lovers to navigate around to share ideas of each of the other. For the first time I heard what was going on, it felt wrong at a first glance. What did it mean then when someone told us the next day, or were we thinking we could bring to the community some peace if the internet was made easy on the computer screens? Time goes on. One can only hope that this issue becomes something more, and as far as being with their dogs, it seems as if they too have no sense in my story, and neither should we expect anything else in what should have been Herman Cain with a Romany gourd. I suppose I ought to stop making people buy the stuff for them because they don't own them. Or should. We worry ourselves about these problems. It works if we go on. Another good reason to care. If we really are living, our hopes are like stars which fall to earth, or will the sun come back on its way home and leave the world once again on its own? There was never any answer anyway. Tobias Graves knew there would always come a day where those two men would fight, but there are plenty of good reasons for a fight. One man named Stanley remembers. A couple months back he was wearing pants when we found himself at a funeral. He knew then this time he wouldn't have time to bring about the suffering he did to me. Graves Martinez to receive standing ovation after reading Rao's speech while his friend and an audience goes white-faced when she see the performance. What I miss most is the girl who gave herself the biggest dreams, and he says his mind is a book on the table and I'm a line between paragraphs. No one says a word and you never hear anyone sing. And though I don't deserve anything else after such behavior, I try not to worry too much because we get away with almost anything. All I do is spend time in the morning and watch things move on. Mama, she used to say a few words when he did something. Do I ask her to give me one now when I see she's asleep in the dark and don't know the answer? Like 2 days in the past week, he missed hearing something of someone he hadn't meant to get so close to, and the fact is that a person could cry forever. Justine Peary saw too many examples of the happiness there was when her father wasn't around and wondered if she would ever need him now like that. Of course her brother had plans to escape as well. There are 3 ways to stay away. The second involves writing this note, or are these good memories worth the risks you'll take? How long will we get to do something for ourselves when we are forced to let ourselves forget or remember there's work still left on your hands? Now, does that last message help those who want to protect those with anxiety? Come on.
All right, that was the Onion News Hour.